Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies of your view. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
We have Lyda in the building. Lyda from the abroad. How you doing?
I'm all right, girl.
Good to have you back in Nigeria. I hope are you acclimatized? You know how they say that?
You know me, I'm an Oraisa, so all that acclimatizing is not there. Nigeria is in my soul, it's in my blood. When I come into the country, I feel alive. I'm not joking, everybody knows it. I feel so alive. I'm like, yes, I'm in my motherland. Even when the heat hit me yesterday, I was like, oh, it's like being in a sauna and detoxifying. As it's fun.
How are you doing? How are the
I'm
kids?
good. The kids are now young adults, as you know. The second born turned 18. The second born turned 18, so I got my freedom, my ominira.
Yeah.
Now all I have to do is pray and guide them, and then I move to London.
Did you move them out?
No. Keaton stays in Ireland, Tony stays in London.
Wait. They have not gone out of the house.
Tony left the house 2 years ago, Morayo.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Now I have gone out of the house. As the last one of the family.
That's what abroad does for you. Your kids, 18-year-olds, you kick them out. They now become independent.
He kicks me out, actually. Let me tell you what he did. He cleared my bedroom, moved my bed house. But I'm back in Nigeria. That's why I'm saying house. So he moved my bed out. He moved his furniture into my bedroom, and he said, Olaide, it's time to go and chase your dreams. You've done, I'm not joking, you've done everything you wanted to do for us. And I was afraid when he said it. I was like, move to another country again and start all over. He was like, every time God has done it for you.
Wow.
But so you just go, he did this. But I bet with you, this time next year, you would have a testimony.
Right. Wow.
And I'm happy to say, within 6 weeks, I got to the London today, I found a house the following day.
Wow, fantastic. So,
praise the Lord!
Okay, good to have you back. Yeah. How are you doing, Rebecca?
I'm great.
Anything interesting?
So the award ceremony for last year, so they gifted the recipients a spa session, which I'm going to be having mine today, full body works.
You
can bring your friends.
You know how much I need that thing,
You need it too.
My body aches, every part of my body aches.
You just need to be pampered and touched.
I do.
Oga started his leave yesterday. So
another baby.
And then there's
no, there's no baby.
Spa day
So we're doing the
together.
spa, thing
Wait, you
together.
let another woman touch your husband's back?
It's a massage.
So wait, you be lying down, and another one will be rubbing your husband's
Does
back.
he get happy ending?
Just
It's
check.
It's okay.
She's lying.
Okay.
What's the happy ending?
Hey, we all know the happy ending.
No. Professionally, it's just a massage.
Even
You get a
professionally, you can get
massage.
happy
But that's a
ending.
different type of massage.
Okay.
Which I can gift him sometime.
Please, it's a breakfast show. All these happy endings,
This
please.
is how we all got here.
Nima Akasha Zibiri, how you doing? I should not
I'm
dirty your ears
fine.
again. Early morning.
Early morning. I'm very fine, thank God. Like you see,
I hear you haven't recovered from Princess's visit.
I haven't.
Lady has
I
come.
came to continue.
And like have come. Please, today is a Wednesday, thank God. So it's not a Thursday. Okay. But I like to tap into Lady's testimony. You know, being through all that she's been through and raising your kids by yourself. Most women scare at that, and because of that, they go back to abusive relationships. And they never move up. So I always say a story when I'm dealing with clients that you can actually cope, you can do it.
Yes, there's a huge testimony,
Yes,
honestly.
huge testimony.
We need to find, one day we need to just sit down with Lydie and get into her
interview
head.
her.
Because she's been through quite a bit.
Yes.
And to have these two beautiful children doing great.
And I'm truthful
Adults,
about what I've
yeah,
been through. I
yeah.
don't
So,
fake
yes,
it.
that's the most important part. So Lydie is willing to
pat me on
share
the back.
the process.
Nima, pat me on the back.
Please, I need to give
Pat
you
me on the
one.
back.
So she shares the process, all the hardship, everything that it has to be.
Yes.
But you know, the CEO, we had a meeting yesterday on my panel.
Right.
Will be Ito Rezianaba of the Mirabel Center.
Wow, fantastic.
And Shola, I've forgotten her son, but I'll give you the gist in the view. But that panel will be dealing with rape, child abuse, underage marriage, a lot of things at the CEO that will be sitting on.
Fantastic. Well
So
done.
watch out for it.
Fantastic. Well done. All right, so today is Armed Forces Remembrance Day. We join the rest of Nigerians in remembering our past heroes. They sacrificed their lives for us to have it today. And we must continuously remember them. Please give them a round of applause. Do we have any first-timers in the building? Anybody here for the first time? Please. Rise up. Whoa. Thank you for coming. Are you the only one that's here for the first time? You're welcome. You can have a seat. So you're going to go home with
Daddy is a veteran
pack
talking
of
about soldiers.
Indomie noodles. We're going to give you a pack of Indomie noodles. Thank you very much for coming. And we have Pringles for everybody and Eleganza soap and sanitary towels. Gives everybody on the set today. And we're having 3 raffle drawers. The 3 people will be going home with 3 boxes of Elegant, the big ones, the suitcases. So we're going to pick a raffle towards the end of the show, hopefully. I think everybody has a number? Yes. Very good. So the 3 lucky numbers, the ladies will pick a number, and whoever gets that number will go home with a suitcase from Eleganza. Okay, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right. We're starting with the nation. Outrage as federal government declares Amotekun illegal. Tax reforms to fetch 8.15 trillion naira cash. Uzodinma replaces Ihidioha in Imo. How Nigerian pastor raped 6 girls in UK. Ngige woos ASU with merger of IPPIS and UTAS. And Kwara bans religious activities in schools. We'll take Amotekun and Uzodinma a bit later because all over the papers. Yeah. Let's start with this human interest story of a pastor in the UK that raped 6 girls.
Michael Olurombi.
Olurombi?
Oh, Olurombi.
You will call it he.
Sorry, it's Ehedioha.
Ehedioha. And
you didn't correct me now. I'm correcting her because I know. You should have corrected me.
I did that on Monday.
It's Ehedioha. I didn't hear you. Okay, so go ahead. Olurombi.
Yes, a proclaimed pastor and pharmacist who was convicted yesterday in the UK for assaulting, raping about 6 girls and a boy. And his wife was aiding and abetting as well. So she was convicted. Now, this started in the 1980s where he got into the UK. He was a member of the Cherubim and Seraphim Church and later broke out and decided to start his own with about 40 persons, telling them he's going to be giving them spiritual baths. And then he ends up raping the girls, using them.
So, in addition to what she said, so after he left, he broke out of Cherubim. He was still doing Cherubim and Seraphim.
Yes.
So he now got a woman, 6 of them. She was a single mother of 6.
Yeah.
He now got her, because obviously she has a big house. So she allowed him to stay in her house. And while staying in the house, he turned her back against her children, her children and even her children's father at the time. So he got them to chase them out, and he now started raping. Now, he didn't tell us if she raped those children, but he raped other children in the neighborhood. But this man has now been arrested for something he did, because now he's 61. Yeah. This happened years ago. Yes. So they brought up back the case. The kids have already grown.
Because the kids, when they grew up, one of them reported.
Exactly.
Even if they didn't report, you remember Bill Cosby was sent to prison.
Yes.
And people didn't come out until maybe like 2 years ago for crimes he had done, even when the statute of limitation had passed. So it's when people start speaking up that you start getting punished.
So if you think that you can go to the abroad and run away, trust me, this man has. You. Okay, let's find one more story in Kwara bans religious activities. Who has that story?
Yeah, so because of the excesses of certain officials of Kwara State government who are in charge of education, and they compelled morning prayers in schools, and then they will use that platform to preach during assembly and delay students. The Kwara State governor has, limited those activities for schools, because the heading in Nation was almost, made me read it clearly. So that's the purpose of it, to curtail those excesses and allow normal religious practices.
Those guys will do Muslim assembly and Christian assembly,
and then they start preaching. So those kind of things. So what they do now is simply have the usual assembly and do the silent prayers.
Which is good. Simple, fantastic. Moving on to the Punch. Southwest plans legal action as federal government declares Amotekun illegal. Man jailed 2 weeks for making calls in court. Police drop car theft case against Naira Marley and siblings. Suspect behind Buhari's fake marriage video gets bail. 3 killed, 12 injured in Lagos Ogun crashes. PDP fumes as Supreme Court sacks Ihedioha and declares Uzodinma winner. And Presidency Minister differ on financial law implementation. Let's take Amotekun for a second. Go ahead. Who has the story?
Okay, yes, so I have the story. It's everywhere. The federal government has declared the Southwestern security outfit, Amoteco, we talked about it here, as illegal, saying that they have no rights. That it negates the Constitution, that it's only the security, the mainstream security agencies, according to the Constitution, that has the right to protect the lives and properties of its citizens. But the governors are saying that they haven't met. They are going to meet, and they may likely sue the federal government for,
I have
declaring
about 5
it illegal.
questions quickly. So yes, exclusivity under our Constitution, exclusively only the federal government has rights over security.
Yeah.
But then they invoked this right partially in this case, because if you have allowed ISBA in the north and what's the one in Enugu, you have allowed that one take, and you have allowed the neighborhood watch in Lagos. Why suddenly the regional one
One of the
now
things that
becomes
the
a
AGF has said
paramilitary
is
group?
the issue of secure, because, yeah, there are other parts of Amotekun that is just supposed to be intelligence gathering, and I agree with you. The JTF in the northeast obviously has been approved, but the issue, according to what the AGF is saying, is that the federal government has exclusive right for purely securing that region. And once you now give, once you begin to give a group,
So the federal government allowed the
defend,
JTF.
yeah,
The
there was
federal
one
government
defense,
did
was one
not invoke this exclusivity against ISBA and other groups in other regions, but they did in this region. I'm not saying what the
be a case of,
AGF is saying is wrong. What it's saying is constitutional, and that's legal.
Yeah.
If
But
the federal government has the right, it's the same way where you have National Guard come and help you, and you take reserved forces. So if they have the right, it doesn't mean that it has to be serving officials only that would do the job. They can then, it's almost like...
No, every Nigerian even deals with security by ourselves. So in my own area, we take priority with our security and pay our own for our own security. What I'm saying is, this is clearly a failure of our National Assembly, who refuse to do, to decongest those powers that are in the exclusive list. And those things are majorly holding us. Security, for one of them, you can see what is cost.
The news is still pretty fresh, so we're still going to wait for it. We're waiting for the Governor Fayemi and others to respond. So once we get their response, we'll now see what the next steps are.
Akeredolu has responded that the AGF is wrong, and what he's saying, he doesn't have the powers to make laws from his office. So.
Yeah. Let's take the other human interest story. A man jailed 2 weeks for making calls in court. Who was that story?
Yes, I have the story. This particular man, he happened in the Kwara High Court in Ilorin, and his name is Abdul Wahab Adebayo, who was receiving calls while the processions, the court was in session. And he was asked to, stop, and he refused. They had to get the police to chase him out of the courtroom, and he was screaming and shouting that he was innocent. So just, you know what, just go and stay in correctional facility for 2 weeks.
Who has a Naira Marley story? Do you want to take
I do.
Go ahead.
So Naira Marley,
you want to take that story?
Not really take it, but I'm just so glad that they dismissed the charges.
Why are you glad?
Why are you glad?
I'm glad because I really do not think, I'm not so much...
Let's not make it okay. I
just like the child. This boy called Naira Marley.
Okay, tell us what happened in the first. Tell us what happened and come to your thoughts.
He had been
what happened in the papers?
To court for car theft, along with his friends and family members that they did the work together. So they were on spraying money in Lekki and hit a car. And when the owner of the car got down to check, they got in his car and drove it off to another location. So he called the police in, and by the time they caught up with them in VI, they were beating the person up, so they got charged. But their lawyer was immediately begging the magistrate that, this matter will be settled out of court, and he finally got that done, and the matter was
And then your views on it?
The view on it is the abuse I don't approve of, even the driving of, but road rage is real. Everybody gets road rage. I mean, you saw Bobrisky the day that he was pulling someone out of the car. So you never can explain what someone does.
Okay, we'll discuss it in Naira Marley tomorrow.
But being a celebrity, they want to make him a scapegoat.
Okay, let's move on to Vanguard. We'll focus on Naira Marley because there's a lot on this Naira Marley thing that's happening, but we'll talk about it for tomorrow. Moving on to Vanguard very quickly. Opera as federal government declares Amotekun illegal. We talked about that. Apapa gridlock, presidential task force, port operators, stakeholders, trade blame over corruption. Gunmen killed 35, abducts 58 in Kaduna. 50 years after, another cloud of war hanging over Nigeria's southern middle belt. And then, Imo governorship verdict. Let's talk about Ihedioha and Uzodinma. Who has that story?
So, yesterday, the Supreme Court, in what Nigerians considered government magic, declared the APC candidate the winner of the governorship elections in Imo State, and, ordered that the return certificate be given to him as governor. So Nigerians wondered how he was, He's the
fourth person.
Fourth
place
in the order.
Now he jumped third second,
Details.
and became first. Sounds like
Details of the
mathematical
matter is-
glitch.
of the petition
yes.
showed that he went to the tribunal stating that he won
Right.
in about 388 polling units
Right.
where his votes were cancelled and not counted by INEC.
Okay.
And that was his own case that he made to the Supreme Court. And based on that, the Supreme Court looked into, because I wonder why the tribunal refused to check those cases
Investigate
and
it
see
in the
whether
first
whether that cancellation was
388,
legal
yeah.
or not. So if the Supreme Court was not made to do a tribunal's job, good for
Now,
us.
what I would like to,
But they
the
did,
question I would like to
and they found that he won over 200,000 votes, which
Yes.
they counted for him and
Yes.
added to his vote.
Now, my question, therefore, for Nigerians to truly believe that this was
It's
properly
fair.
done, is fair. That 388 polling units that they said he's won, we'd like to get the results of all the candidates too at those polling units, so that we have this, so we know for a fact. So because he said, I'll let you speak it. Because they're saying that he has 213,000 votes, correct?
Yeah.
Let's see what the others took.
Breakdown.
Because
And everything.
Good, no, Mariah, very good.
Yes.
We would like to see.
Yes.
But if the others do not plead that at the
so
tribunal,
that's the technicality of the law that I have a problem with.
To justify how he
That's
got
the technicality I'm having a problem with, because
you.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Supreme Court is not a court of first hearing.
Yes.
Not even in election matters.
Right.
It is a final
So because the
court.
other candidates have not come to,
They are
So if they
lawyers.
don't question it,
They are
nobody's
lawyers.
going to
See,
put
see,
it forward.
that's what some lawyers do is open up and apply for every possible outlet there.
I thought you were going to say that the votes were not available. I wanted to say when the
No,
elections
available,
were.
okay. We have to
I'm
move
the
on.
one
And
saying
we
I want to
can't
help me to
check
count
records.
votes. They did not cancel.
Yes.
And the other person is not saying cancel. The person is saying rerun.
Okay,
This person
so
is not qualified.
so
What you are
what?
bringing
So
is
Nigerians
different.
would like to get the result of the other bill. I
Yes,
think it's
so-
important so that because right
The
now
Supreme Court
it looks-
cannot err in their judgment.
I'm sure they can't. You are a lawyer. What do you want to say?
Final
But we
consent.
Nigerians are concerned.
May
Okay.
I quickly take the
Very
government
quickly.
story in
Yes, go ahead.
Kaduna, because I think about 10 communities in Kaduna were invaded by bandits. About 100 of them got into bikes and stormed those villages. They killed about 35 persons and kidnapped 48. Now they are demanding for 100 million ransom in order to release those ones that they have kidnapped. The Kaduna is asking the international, organizations to come in and assist them to solve this crisis in Kaduna.
So let me quickly link that with the 50 years after war looming in Nigeria story. According to the Southern Middle Belt Leaders Forum, headed by Yinka Odumakin, war is looming over Nigeria because of, and they had legitimate ground of nepotism, sectionalism, and all those other things. But I would like that as a forum, knowing what war has cost us. If we did not see the Civil War maybe we were children. We saw the one in Ife Amudakeke. War doesn't solve anything.
Right.
can't
I'd like
even
that
say
as
they
a forum.
shouldn't have
They
war.
should have legitimate grounds that they will
se. We
have to run up.
solution. They should be preferring solution.
Okay, we have to
not
run up,
war.
unfortunately. But
We have to appeal to the minds of these masses
Unfortunately-
because a revelation might happen.
that's all we can take on Front Page. But once again, we celebrate our armed forces. Today is Armed Forces Remembrance Day, and we continue to remember them and those who lost their lives. God bless their families, and God bless their souls. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we have a few hot topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we move on to our next topic, we were able to get a lawyer, Barrister Kabir Akingbolu, to comment on the recent judgment by the Supreme Court on the new governor, Uzodinma of Imo State. Good morning, Barrister Akingbolu. Are you there?
Yeah, I am there. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have
Thank
you.
you for having me on the program.
Good. Thank you for joining us. Now, obviously, this is the biggest news in Nigeria today. In your view, the fact that the Supreme Court has declared Governor Uzodinma the winner, what's your take on this judgment?
Well, there's nothing. Yeah, it might be a landmark judgment, but it's nothing too spectacular because it's what there's not. There are precedents and precedents and precedents. It's only that people sometimes don't just, they don't view things from all angles before you can condemn. And again, I think it's high time we should stop condemning our institutions. Supreme Court is doing its own job. The judiciary is doing its own job. The politicians are doing their own. The executives are doing their own. The legislators are doing their own. Allow the law to take its course. And whenever Supreme Court sneezes, every nook and cranny of Nigeria will catch the code. The Supreme Court has spoken. Whether we like it or we don't like it, that remains the law today. And the law of the land is interpreted by the court. And by the realist school of thought states that law is what the judges say from the bench. Whatever you or I or myself think about the judge is not the issue.
Barrister Akingbolu, let me just throw something in right here. PDP has responded that obviously this well, there was a phrase they used. I can't remember it right now. But the point is, the layman is looking at this judgment and thinking, a party was fourth in line. Suddenly, you've declared that 388 polling units have been included, and now he has over 213,000 votes that's valid, that now makes him first. The numbers just didn't add up. It just seems really, really unreal somehow. What are your views on this?
It is very real. The law that created the election tribunals that gives right that give right to appeals up to Supreme Court has empowered the court, has clothed them with the power to adjudicate and to make this kind of pronouncement. And they can nullify, they can uphold elections. And where they have upheld the election, it is not anything wrong. And again, in the 388 polling units they talk about, the polling unit, don't forget that the INEC is a statutory body. INEC has agents in all the polling units of Nigeria, in the 19,970 polling units. Now, Imo State is not an exception. In those 388 polling units, INEC have their agents there, called the ad hoc staff, the presiding officer. And once anything that is done by the agent is binding the principle, which is INEC. And the law is that once an election has been conducted, and the polling, if there are irregularities, if the polling officer may not enter the result. Okay. But when he has entered the result, and he has announced that PDP has this, APC has this, AA has this, and he has announced the result, nobody can cancel
it. Point taken, yes. Let me get
what he said now, because Nima was speaking about it during the break, but what he said now that I almost asked him was that he said that if they found that there was hanky-panky of sorts, that the votes may not have been counted. So this now explains why it seems like there's an all of a sudden surge of numbers, because I guess the court has now told them to count the votes.
I don't know if the lawyer is the right person for us to ask, because he and Nima are talking, they're obviously protecting the same language. They're protecting their institution, because personally I feel that they're saying the same thing.
Are you still on Mr. Akingbolu?
Barrister Akingbolu.
Barrister Akingbolu.
Are you still there?
No.
Sorry.
I
don't use
Are you there?
Yes. Mr. Akingbolu.
Are you there?
Yes. So I wanted you to bring in the dynamics of the issues.
Yeah, what we are saying here is this. Are they being there are flaws, there are irregularities, there are riggings or anything? The presiding officer may not enter the result. But once he enters the result and declare it and say, hey, as this PDP, you cannot get to the collation center and say you are not going to announce it or to collect it with the result. It will be a different ball game if the presiding officer refused to announce the result at the polling unit.
Exactly.
That is still there. But an election result that has been announced, I think the local government, it happened in the case of David Mark and Abubakar Usman in 2007. Where some results were excluded, the court of appeal said, no, you cannot do that. Once the presiding officer has announced that result, it must be collated and it must be announced.
I agree with you, Mr. Akingbolu. Could you just listen? I wanted you to bring in the dynamics of the inter-party issues that happened within the APC, between the former governor and the present governor, that could have led to cancelling of certain areas of his votes.
You mean the
Okorocha and Uzodinma had their internal issues within the APC.
Yes, they are the internal issues, but that is
how could this have contributed?
That's a pre-election matter. You understand? It is a pre-election matter that is another course of action. This is an election petition that is challenging the authenticity of the declaration of the governor. Now, and the matter went up to Supreme Court, and this is the decision. The problem we have is this: we have had instances where, due to internal robberies of the APC and whatever, they have announced 8 House of Reps. All the candidates of APC in Zamfara State were disqualified, and they declared PDP with 100,000 votes. 100-something thousand were cancelled, 500 and something thousand votes were cancelled.
Exactly.
In place of the popular candidate then, nobody is talking. In River, they disqualify all the candidates there.
Exactly.
Nobody is talking. Democracy is working, but we should be able to detach ourselves from the sentiment that may be involved in this.
Point taken. Let me get one more question in for you.
He has used English too.
Okay, in order for the citizens to see that this is fair, is there any way we can get the results of the other polling units, of the other political parties as well? Those polling units that were cancelled and we revived right now. Is there any way we can see those results?
For all the candidates.
For all the candidates.
And of what use is that now?
Of course. If you look at the body of the judgment will state it clearly that now with the addition, this is the vote of APC, this is the vote of PDP. And again, if you go to INEC office, all these results are there. And don't forget, they call witness that tendered all these results. And INEC certified the results for them as a document, an original document, and there was no counter result from the PDP to say, oh, this 380 polling units, this is not the result that this result is not correct. This is our own version. This is the correct version. Because when you are saying in an election petition, when you say there is rigging or falsification of results, you must bring two results to say this one is genuine, this one is fake. So when you are not bringing that one, then there's only one result before the Supreme Court to declare the man.
Okay, let me get one in.
The question we just want to ask for the lay woman and man, market people, is that is there anywhere that we can go for general knowledge as of today to find the results for all the candidates in those polling units that have been revived so that we can see it and it's clear to everyone?
Very, very well. It's in INEC office. Just apply. They will give it to you within 2, 3, 4 hours. You will
All right. On that note, I have to...
They will certify it for you. They will not only give you, they will certify it.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Akingbolu. I think with your comments, we are equally
enlightened
on this. Hopefully the layman understands what this judgment is, because a lot of people are confused. But then let's move on to our other topic, our Nigerian senators. So Premium Times, let me quickly give them the credit. It was them that put this article out. They said that Nigerian senators are allegedly protesting the 2 million naira Christmas allowance given to them by Senate leadership. According to Premium Times, some of the senators said that the allowance was not enough for them to meet their needs and that of their constituencies. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweets. I must add that one of the senators allegedly said, see, we're using allegedly because don't know, they've not responded. We're just going by what Premium Times said. But so one of the senators allegedly said that last time they got about 50 million.
And what
that they used because they will buy, you buy a cow, you buy rice, you buy oil, don't they give all of you these things when you go to
your constituency? Is that what he said? No, that's not what he said.
It was what it meant, more or less. Let me say what I copped on from this. They made it seem like Tino de Lanro, as in it's because of you people that were really concerned about this amount of money. Because it's just a little drop in the amount of bukata that we have to take care of this, our constituents. I mean, you are getting Christmas allowance, minimum wage, you haven't addressed for all of us in this country. They haven't resorted to giving us ideal amounts. And then you have the audacity to complain. Money that was given to you on the 18th of December. Wait, I haven't finished. Given to you on the 18th of December, workers did not get their salary in time for Christmas shopping. They gave you money on the 18th of December, and then you sit down there and you are complaining.
That's not enough.
One person that made sense, and they, of course, they will never mention their names. They will say, because they are not sure yet if they want to attack the leadership. So let us just let you know we're filming for now, but we may come out. So when they don't say their names, I start looking at them as if they all lack integrity, whether they are speaking for or against. The one person that seemed to have spoken a bit of sense said, they said the second former senator confirmed that he received more than 2 million in Christmas bonus, but one that members of the current assembly should concentrate on their activities rather than complaining over payments. He said the 2 million may look small, the senator said, but I will advise them to remember the millions of Nigerians who cannot even earn a fraction of that amount throughout the year.
That's a former senator.
A former or not?
A former.
As in he has
Do you understand? This former senator, he did not speak.
Hold your comment. That's when you come back. We'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, Rebecca.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Nima was starting. Nima was going to make a point. You're going to make a point of that. Well, welcome back. So before the break, Nima was going to make a point. Yes.
So, like I was saying to the former senator now speaking, that, you know, they should remember that Nigerians have not eaten, Nigerians have collected, confirmed in that same report that he collected far more. That was what those were what, far more
now
than 2 million
no
in his time at the 7th Assembly. And I would like to say one thing to Nigerians. You see that thing that we hate to condemn because it might be our turn tomorrow. It's what is killing us in this country.
Come and bite us tomorrow.
When they say you should say 2 million for December, Christmas is bad because you are the one that will receive it in the constituency. You will say, Masoros is senator, it's now that it's our turn. We are middle belt. We are southwest. We are this and that. Yeah, thank you. We continue to abuse institutions because of that. We don't have proper institutions. We don't even allow, like in Nigeria now, who knows of the office of the federal, the Auditor General of the country? And of a state, who shouldn't allow security votes be spent recklessly or be awarded recklessly? We don't even allow the powers of the Attorney General of the federal government or of the states. These are constitutionally provided offices. They are institutions. We hate to condemn things that it will benefit us. Maybe when it's my turn. Like when we're talking about Hanan and the flight, someone called me. You have not gotten to the presidency yet. Maybe when you get there, you allow your daughter. So don't be talking anyhow.
So, you know, 2 million for a senator for Christmas is not too much, okay? But according to the story, the Premium Times, the money was given to them for not just themselves, but for their constituents. And one of them mentioned that anytime he had to go to the constituency, he carries about 50 million because he has to share money. And I was asking myself, if the leadership had given us the basic amenities, if we had good water, good road, good free and fair, you know, health care, we had good education, we will not need to be begging the senators to help us, you know, because we have already been impoverished. And that is why when we see those senators, we see them as gods, they must give us handouts. Then I also remember that, you know, everybody, we are in change now. Everybody's tightening their belts. The rice we used to buy for 8,000 became 16 to 20-something thousand during the Christmas. I'm sure some of you ate beans and fish because we could not afford rice and chicken. It has reached them. They shouldn't complain. That 2 million, if you have how many members there, you can share them at 6,000 to buy that Nima's rice.
Let's flip it a bit because sometimes we put our leaders in under so much pressure.
What pressure?
You're constantly going after them. You see, you don't even allow the leaders to govern.
Okay.
The moment you enter that leadership position, it's our turn, no.
They didn't come to govern themselves. Please, let me speak. They themselves, we all know, let's not call it anything else. None of them came to govern. I can say that categorically, and anybody that wants to challenge.
No, that's generalizing. Some people.
No, I will generalize because it's the same old, same old. It's a case of turn by turn. Nobody comes to govern. Nobody. Do you see videos of when they're supposed to be making laws and everything? You have the likes of the Melai dancing and chatting and acting like an oraisa.
Somebody
and everybody's just looking at him and acting. And meanwhile, this is a system they copied from Europe and UK. And they can see
Let me
how
understand something.
A
constituency, I'll come to you. A constituency, members of the constituency believe that they came together, lobbied to get money for you, supported you, and then to get you there. Now, you are there. Instead of them to allow you to govern, because they voted you in, correct?
Yeah.
But then they won't allow you to govern. They are constantly inviting you for father's burial. My children want to graduate. Kenita wants to happen. They are constantly hanging. They're the ones. You see, if we want true leadership, we will get it.
Okay.
You let your leaders
lead.
Okay, so
we are the people we put in office, is what we're trying to say. We are really the people we put in office. So we've always done it like this. We say it's the Nigerian way. We know, like someone says, you don't call it corruption when it works in your favor. You want to get a Nigerian passport, you know that if you add 10 times what they say you should charge, you will get it in a day. The people that don't have connection are the ones that are not corrupt.
Okay.
So it's not about just saying we are there to govern. Right. You need to show by your actions. What laws are you pushing at the houses of assembly?
They're not even talking
laws now. Hold on. Because when it comes to the laws that will benefit the masses, you see them kick it out of the window. But when it comes to their own laws, you see them pass it under 24 hours. Hold on. So when you do not institutionalize, like Nima just said, You do not make it plain for leadership to go through, for the people to be attended to. If I am hungry, if you give me 5,000, I will collect.
BC,
I don't
the
have
point
a choice.
is that we are the same people that we're complaining about.
Let me take comments from the audience. Go ahead, please.
All right. My name is David Oluleke, I'm going to be as objective as possible on this issue. I like the phrase, change begins with you.
Yeah.
That is with everybody. That's a statement of fact.
Exactly.
But there's something higher than fact, which is the truth. The truth is, until we go to the House of Assembly and orientate or reorientate the lawmakers, we are wasting our time. Okay? There is, well, I won't mention my constituency, but the only time I get to see one of the major senators representing the constituency was when he was, asking people to vote for him. And then he climbs the roof of his car, throw Go TV and whatever to people. Because the system is bad, we need to change the structure. How can you say 2 million naira Christmas gift for you and the constituency? In the first place, what constituency?
Exactly.
We don't get to see anything.
Okay, point taken. But I really hope we can put ourselves in the shoes of this leader. But let me jump in here for a
I
second.
wanted to buttress Obiajulu's point on the proper laws made. So as a leader, when you govern, what you take note of is that you know for a fact that there's a problem. Your constituents now, the people in your constituency are hungry and they will take 5,000.
Before.
But you sitting down there is seeing beyond what they are seeing and saying, this is not dignifying of my people. As a representative of my people, I need laws that will establish proper institutions so that my people never beg again.
Yes.
Let me finish, Morayo.
And
so
now you
that
talk.
you will take cognizance of the insecurity in your locality and
Yes,
say
so.
that I am moving a motion, Speaker, sir, that security be removed from exclusive list into concurrent list so that governors also can control security within their state.
Nima,
You will also,
May I say
you will
something?
also sit down and be looking and see that, no, I am also moving a motion that the federal government no longer should control all our resources and each state should be allowed to
Nima,
mine
these things
and
are
control their
easier
resources.
said than done.
No, remember
Nima,
that said than done.
Nima,
They've said it many times that
Nima,
states
I will
should
explain to you why it
generate
is their
their
side.
own.
I'll give you your time to talk.
Okay.
Hang in there, please. The point I'm trying to make is that we all remember when former governor fired me the first time, they said he wasn't doing back infrastructure, that English was too much. When leaders actually tried to make a difference, people say, he's very stingy. We were here when they said Fashola doesn't give, Fashola Olawo. We was the common gist there. Anytime you see Fashola, he will ask you, have you paid your tax? You expect Fashola to give you something. He wouldn't give you. The point is that a lot of us, we caused these things. We don't want leaders to lead us. We want them to just share the national cake with us.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
So may I speak? No, Nima, it's not your turn.
May I respond to me and then I will put
She can respond after I put this one
hang in there. Go ahead.
You know why I say it's not easier said than done?
Yes.
The moment a senator is about to step out of office
Yes.
or is about to lose election,
Yes.
they talk rights.
Yes.
Yeah.
They move proper motion.
Yes.
They
Yes.
declare their salaries. Please,
Okay.
Because they're about
The
to
point
go.
I'm making, and we can't get away from it, is that we as Nigerians know that is how we run things. We're not in government now. We're talking about what the senator should do. If I get into government tomorrow, whether you want to chase me for something or not, the first thought that gets into your mind is, I'm connected to Laide.
What can I get?
Let me put that one in my left hand. I never know when I may need her. Then these so-called senators that are getting money for their constituents and whatever, once a year, are we so hungry that we are waiting for Senator Santa to bring a bag to come and be giving us biscuits for that once a year?
We are hungry.
Well, of course we're hungry. That's why we don't want to
That's the
see
truth,
sense.
oh.
We are
Oh my
hungry. We don't
God.
want to see sense.
We are
You're
hungry.
arguing over and trying to justify this man saying that he got 2 point something
Unfortunately,
million.
I have to wrap up on this.
We're
But
hungry.
I'd like to wrap up on this.
Before you wrap up,
Yes.
Murayo, in the next segment, I won't hang on. I will come out of the hanging cupboard. Let's just know that.
All right. We have to hang on. But you see, this topic, we can't exhaust it. But I think we need to
can't.
bring it
I
up.
know.
Because I remember that I know somebody who became, I think it was the chairman or vice chairman of a constituency, of a certain area. And at that time, he told me they released 35 million naira for them to do work. And after they released that 35 million naira to them, when they now sat down, the 32 million was allocated to Ramadan, giving out, buying ram. Right. So they had just 3 million left to work for the entire. That is our reality. This is somebody that I know. He sat down And 32, they already calculated how 32 million we used to buy ram for their constituencies, buy rice
So
and
whose
oil.
fault is that,
That's
Morayo?
what I'm saying. It is us, the people. All of us is the same. Because
we are the same ones that go into
those Baba
office.
Salles, they're expecting that ram.
Yes.
Those Iya Salles, they're expecting the
And
rice.
if you don't give them the ram and use it to
They will not
work for
vote
them,
you in.
You won't get the second term.
That's what,
It's the way we do
what's
things.
happening.
our problem,
So
oh.
it's
The
We're not
system
ready.
has to change with all of us. The
Unfortunately-
constituents must say that, look, this money that you are
Unfortunately, that's
bringing
all we
is
can
not
take on the
supposed to
show.
be for
Let me
it.
go on a break. When we come back, we have to do our Let's Talk, which is on the hike in petrol. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Electricity.
Stay tuned.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. So recently, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission proposed to increase tariffs in the country with 78%. However, report has it that it has been suspended because consultation is ongoing. So part of the consultation is us bringing in our dear friend, the spokesman for the discourse, our Otumba Sunday Odunton. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So you can call us on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweet. Otumba, I'm going to give you a few minutes because I'd like you to explain to the layman. When you say 78% increase, that for us means a whole lot of money. So why is it being increased, and when do you plan to implement it, and how is it going to affect us?
Okay, let me start with what we need to know.
Okay.
The first thing we need to know is that Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission is the regulator of the power sector in this country.
Okay.
Just like the CBN is the regulator of commercial bank and banking activities. NEC did not at any time say there will be an increase of 70-something%.
Okay.
I don't know where Mariah got that fact from.
Okay.
So number one, that is wrong. That did not happen. NEC did not even say there's going to be an increase.
Okay.
What NEC said, and we must commend them for that. First of all, let us understand that this sector is regulated by law. The law is called Electric Power Sector Reform Act of 2005. And Section 32 and 76 of that law empowered NEC to issue multi-year tariff order. And I've said it before on this program that we copied this model from New Delhi in India. I said that when we copy and paste things in Nigeria, we'll copy well, we no go paste well. That one we should change. Okay. Then number two, Section 17 of that that multi-year tariff order of 2015 also empowers NEC to carry out biannual, which is every 6 months, minor review. Why do they carry out minor review? They have to look at, one, foreign exchange, because more than 95% of what we use in the power sector are imported. Now, they have to look at foreign exchange, they have to look at the rate of inflation, they have to look at the cost of generation, including the cost of gas. If all those things goes down, tariff has to come down. So if Naira has suddenly gone up, Nigeria is manufacturing a lot of things, we are no more importing anything, or not many things that we import. Ajakuta is working, everything is fine. Naira is now maybe 20 Naira to $1. Of course, tariff will go all the way down to maybe 2 Naira per kilowatt hour. Now, that is what they do. So when you now do a review, it means that it will either go down, go up, or come down, go up, or remain the same. They have not even said this is what it is. But again, as usual, our people started saying this, that. I understand the sensitivity. I understand the link between any increase in anything and people's income. I understand how Nigerians feel when it comes to paying more for anything, whether it's petrol, VAT, or anything. I understand that. But we also want Nigerians to also understand the following. Number one, stop calling us NEPA. The more you still call us NEPA, the more it shows me that you don't even know that anything has changed in this country. It means that you don't even want any change. It means that you don't even want electricity. That's the way I look at it. And when light comes and you say, oh, NEPA, I think Nima needs to tell we are electricity distribution companies.
So you are discos.
We are discos.
But
we are not dancing discos. We are distribution companies. Right? So
may I quickly say
that's
something?
one.
Okay.
PSCN is dead.
Okay.
NEPA, dead. And let me call out one patriotic Nigerian. Mr. Simon Kolawole of this day. He wrote an article yesterday, and I was really proud of this guy for doing that. We need to know that NEPA is dead. ECN died long time ago. NEPA is dead. PACN is dead. We now have 3 different layers in the value chain. It's no more a government corporation. And if the government wants you to be back to government corporation, that should not be a problem.
Okay, let me
the second thing I want you to understand, number 1 is we are no more NEPA.
Okay, we've got to that point. Yeah.
Wait. Number 2, I am also a customer or a consumer of electricity distribution companies.
Okay.
In Abeokuta, I'm a customer of IBEDC, a electricity distribution company. When I'm in Abuja, I'm a customer of AEDC.
Okay.
So what affects my neighbor affects me.
Okay.
They cannot give me light, and they cannot give me light and not give my neighbor light. Or they cannot take off the lights from my neighborhood and I'll have light. So we go through the same pain.
Okay, point
we
taken.
go through the same situation.
Let me throw in a question.
We are in the same country.
Yes, sir.
Let us have passion for Nigeria.
taken.
Talk is cheap.
Okay.
Talk is
Congratulations,
cheap.
right, sir.
So if you
Enough
say-
of talking. Let us do
Point
something
taken, Otumba.
that will
One
give
second.
us
Let me let the Nigeria do a
electricity.
question.
If you say that the review, that there's no increment at the
Yes.
moment, the review
Yes.
is still going on, why is the federal government coming out to say that they're going to pay the difference between the revenue gap between what you have
What they have
posted
been paying.
and the end tariff for the end user, saying that it will not take effect till April?
I've
if there's no review?
just said it. I said what next said was that there will be a review,
Okay.
which is in line with the law.
Okay.
And this is something they should have been doing since the middle of 2016, which is every 6 months. And the last major review that was done in December 2015. It came into effect on the 1st of February 2016. And I'm saying that we should commend NEC. We even cooperate with NEC, because that's the job that they are hired to do, and they are trying their best to stabilize the sector. And I'm also saying that in doing those things, they look at the macroeconomic indices, and if Naira has improved, has gone up
We've been
against
giving
dollar.
figures already.
That's the
I'm
best case
saying,
scenario. We're talking about the worst
that's
case
why
scenario.
the
If
figures
Naira-
you are,
We've been giving figures already.
The figure that we've been giving, but when you're talking about shortfall,
Yeah.
that is an admission that what we have is not the appropriate pricing of the product. And that's the point I'm trying to make. When you talk about anything, look at the cost of production first. Once you can understand the cost
We
of
get that
production,
part.
then
Let me ask
you
you on the
always
quick,
get
when I
it,
come back-
but you don't seem to understand that
see,
when you need to
I
pay
have-
more,
I
have two
you have to
points
pay
to
more.
make.
When I come back, we're going to take like this point.
I have two
But
points.
I want to focus on the pasting part of it. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, so Otumba, I'd like you to, my worry is when you said that we copyright and we don't paste right. The pasting part of it is that it wasn't our fault that you did not do that 6-month review. Suddenly, since 2016 to 2019, nothing was done. You know, there's a possibility that we, Nigerians, will not have to start paying something you were paying for what your own error, next error, or other regulatory body's error, for not doing that proper 6-month review. Because by the time that review happens today, there's a stronger possibility that we're paying way higher.
The hike
And that
is
is
high.
wrong. And that's where we have a problem with.
Thank you very much. That's a very good point. Mariah, you are right, except that I'm an operator. I'm not the regulator.
Yeah, you're talking
But
political.
that's a good point. They are listening to us. They are seeing us. Mr. Nek, please, we beg you. We take God beg you. Next time, let's always do this 6-monthly review. Okay. We know it is tough for you. It's not easy to do. We also know that you are trying your best. So I think the message is taken.
Okay. I like the way
Next question.
you addressed Mariah. It was so political. As in, you say you've landed. Let me. Okay. 2 points, or maybe even 3.
Yes.
Number 1, we know that the Naira has not appreciated since time immemorial when Buhari was first in government, which means the tariff would never improve for us Nigerians. That's point number 1. Number 2, you dare not in my presence anyway, say that they cannot compare you to PHCN, NEPA. Those are your forefathers. You do not have that choice. Okay? You do not have a choice. You cannot tell me now that you can't trace your history to who born you, born your father, born everybody.
Because you don't even turn difference between them and now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the same thing.
You are saying that
They're the same or the same. You can
They are all the same. Then again, the point about it, even though I'm cracking a joke about forefathers, is that Nigerians still have not seen substantial change in the DNA of our power suppliers. In the DNA, right? So you say you copy and paste. For instance, I don't know the population of Senegal, but I'm sure you've heard about what Akon and China in unison are doing about power in Senegal. Why India, of all places, would you go and be copying?
They have similar population to us, but go ahead. Let me let you respond.
Population aside, we're looking for technology that sorts the issue.
Okay.
So if you can get it right for a 10% of the population, then you can duplicate it.
Okay.
You don't need to come and start saying, no, Alaji has 10 children, he too has 10 children, we all go to the same school.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Point taken.
Thank you very much.
I've landed.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank God you have landed safely.
Thank you.
Safe landing.
Thank you.
Yes, so
First of all, number one, madam, I'm happy that you have confirmed that these schools were not bastards.
Yes.
So we have fathers and forefathers. So, but that does not mean that we should not answer to our own name. I don't know whether you know Mora's father. I know his father, her father.
I know.
But I won't talk about that.
I understand.
But she's bearing a different name now, her name, her
know
identity.
that father
So we are discos. We did not copy technology from India.
Okay.
We copied methodology.
Okay.
We saw something they were doing rightly. They had the same problem that we had. We thought, okay, from there we can do something good. That is that. Number three, I agree with you.
On what?
That haven't we seen what is happening in Senegal? The only thing is that, madam, you need to go back to Senegal and check. You will see that Nigeria, in the whole of West Africa, Nigerians pay the lowest tariff for electricity. So, Emma Bino, Ejo, to get the best, we must be prepared to pay for this thing. And we will then be able to hold the discos, the generation companies, or even the TCN. We can then hold the operators accountable. Because efficiency is linked to pricing. And I can confirm that we, disco, we are not efficient enough. We're trying our best to be more efficient, but we're not efficient enough. We need to make customers king. We need to respond to fault clearing on time. And for someone like Morayo to sit down here on live TV, to say that things have not improved, maybe she has forgotten. It has improved. Okay. My sister agrees with me here that things has improved. Because I remember the last time there was a fault on her line in this neighborhood.
Let's not make it personal.
We responded robustly. And not just Morayo. Everywhere. We responded robustly. Our customer services have gone.
This is where we talk about connection.
We are doing better now than we were doing
I totally agree.
6 years ago.
I
But we
agree.
need to do more.
Yes.
I'm not here to boast,
agree
but we
with
have
that
rebounded.
statement.
We are doing better than we
I
were
agree with
doing
that statement because we do
before
have
now.
electricity consistently for days. I do agree. So definitely, we can
still
clap for
don't.
this schools.
We still don't.
Abi, clap for me.
Let me let you
Clap for the goals.
Good. For the past 3 days, our transformer are blown.
Okay, good.
We are paying to
Have you
fix it.
reported? Have you reported it?
These schools are not doing anything enough.
Have you reported
Let me
it?
go on a break. Nima, I'll let you ask your question, and after this quick break, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
So thanks for staying with us. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. Otuma, just give us very quickly what we should expect from these changes.
Okay. Number one, I want Nigerians to know that there's a link between pricing and efficiency, including sufficiency. So we need to have more electricity. And in doing so, the best we can do is for all of us to work together, the customers, the government, and the operators. And anytime your transformer is blown, please report it as soon as possible. And there are ways of escalating it.
Okay.
Sometimes information matters. And I can assure you that once that is done, we will try our best to ensure that things are done
All right.
properly.
Thank you very much. All right, so we have to run up, but I'm going to let Lady do the honors of picking the first number. Hurry up, pick the number. Our guest, please give Puko number.
Pass it
And
on.
I think I'll let, who would like to pick one? Nima, pick one. Pick a number. All right, so let's know who's getting these eleganza suitcases. Okay, let's start with this first. The first big one. Who's getting this? Yeah, open. What number?
I'm praying for you.
All right, we only have a few seconds left.
29.
Who's 29?
Who's 29?
Pick another number. What's your number? 20.
20.
Who's number 20? Please, rise.
Give him the first one.
Please, come down. Who's the second person?
19.
Please clap for the person. Who's number 19?
19.
Oh, our first timer. She's getting Indomie pack 2. Hey! She's going with a suitcase.
You can take the...
Please shake this thing well. Yeah.
81 for number 3.
Number
of the
3.
suitcase. Number 81.
There's no 81. 81 bow.
Oh,
18.
18.
Jesus Christ.
Are you guys a couple? They sat together. I must touch you people. So there's favor in that connection.
Otumba, we're giving you this. Thank you very much for coming. Work from Ada Small.
Thank you very much.
Our first timer gets a box of Indomie noodles and also a mug also because it's your first time. And then everybody goes home with a box of Pringles, Eleganza soap, and Eleganza sanitary towels. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Have a fabulous day. And Cream Slices gave us a cake as usual. Thanks, Cream Slices. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.